Off
trouble, big trouble.
Newman slams the wall.
Man.
Comes Schrader, and Newman is in the air and over. Ryan Newman, last year's Rookie of the Year. The rear end ripped from the car to the grass. It got airborne.
Let's watch her here and see what happens. Oh, Kenny Schrader got out of control, got into him. Oh, that's what happened, Mike. His right rear tire came off. Car goes airborne. Then when it hits the ground, it digs in and just rips it apart. Let me tell you, the way these cars are inside, he's like he's in a capsule in there. And so these cars, they've done such an incredibly good job with the safety and protecting the driver in these cars. Look at that thing lift up, Larry.
Just takes off like an airplane.
That's 3,400 pounds, folks, just lifting up in the air like a feather.
And the right rear wheel digs into the dirt and tears the whole rear end loose from the car.
Yeah, if the tire hadn't come off of the wheel, it probably wouldn't have turned over like that. But once the tire came off, and it dug in and flipped it.
Now, when Schrader's car was heading down pit road, he was basically a passenger because the front end of his car had been heavily damaged.
And I think that's what happened at the end of pit road. He just couldn't control his car.
Once again, just on the inside of Brendan Gaughan.
Look out!
Trouble.
Oh, and upside down is Earnhardt. This is going to be a mess.
Big spin behind us, wave him.
The 33 of Harvick, Joey Logano involved. More cars still spinning in this multiple car crash. Just that quick. Window net is down. Oh man, that car is just destroyed.
Boy, it happens fast. Hard to tell exactly what happened right there.
Brendan Gaughan involved in it. And we are going to get a red flag situation here.
It's Kyle Busch coming down pit road with damage. Yeah, he hit Junior after he'd gotten upside down.
Another car that's coming in is the 09 of Scott Riggs. Look at the damage here. There is what's damage on the 33 of Kevin Harvick. There's Dale right at the right side of your screen.
Oh, there's contact behind him between Carl Edwards and Carl Edwards got up into Keselowski.
And boy, it just flipped Dale over. And then there's nowhere for these guys to go. That's Kyle Busch. That's the damage he sustained. There's Brendan Gaughan.
You got to wonder why Carl Edwards would make a move like that on the straightaway. Kind of made an abrupt move up to the outside lane there. I don't know if he thought he was clear.
Well, sometimes you're moving over just to get against that car to try to slow that car down, that momentum, to where you can get your line moving a little bit quicker. And maybe he just misjudged that. It has happened before, but that's what these guys are trying to do, is just side draft and slow that car.
Move here off turn 4 like Kevin did. Oh, and there
Shots
they go.
into the wall
They
with
wrecked.
the one of McMurray. 3, 4 cars around. One on its roof. One car hard into the wall.
That was it.
And it ends in flames and sparks.
Our front row sitter up here, he's got a torn up race car,
Mark
78
Truex
car.
Jimmy Johnson, he looks okay. Front end of his car on fire. McMurray crawls across the start-finish line to earn a spot in the 500. The field is frozen as of the caution flag, and Jamie McMurray's car.
What happens here? The 48 and the 24, they get side by side. Here comes McMurray. Menard had a fast car all day long, and here comes McMurray, and he just gets a little bit of piece of that 48. A lot like happened in the Unlimited. Looked like Jimmy's car just got loose and spun.
Look at Clint Boyer in that 15 car get up in the air.
Thing went it did a 360. Unbelievable.
Did a barrel roll and came right back down on its wheels.
And he'll cross the start-finish line because it goes all the way across the infield.
Here's another look. Just this little bit of contact right there between the one and the 48.
Yep, just enough brush on the back corner there to spin him around.
And watch the 78 Truex. He was going to start on the front row of the 500. And he jumps on the brakes but comes right into it and tears that car up pretty badly before it's all over.
Yeah.
Now, remember the Labonte brothers who were 30 seconds back of the field?
Yeah.
I believe they both drove their way into the 500 in this.
Yeah, unofficially, they're both in the top 15.
Tona got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Whoa, problems early on. Chad Cheffin gets spun around and upside down. Chapman back onto his wheels. And we were on board with Dennis Setzer.
Dennis made some contact. Looks like he was.
Let's take a look.
See what happened. Looks like bunt drafting might be. Yeah, Dennis gave him a little shot. Wow.
Wow, completely over. Here goes Terry. Boy, Terry had a wild ride through the grass. He was fortunate that his truck stayed down. You see the roof flap just deploy.
Let's take another look at that one.
Bam. Dennis right there. Give him a little shot in the back and turn Chad's truck around and over, by the way.
Wow, what a view that was.
And hit on the left front wheel, so I'm sure some suspension damage to that, Ray.
Well, guys, they believe.
Half a second. And the 99 has turned over Brad Keselowski.
And we have a caution.
Mike, a little crossover move here by Carl. Clean here, clean here. Just slight contact. Look at that thing go.
That looks so much like Edwards' turnover at Talladega off the bumper of Keselowski.
It really did, and I'm so wondering and hoping that when they put the spoiler back on these cars, they'll quit turning over like this.
Keselowski's put the window net down.
The roof flaps deployed, but it did not sit that car back down. I'm like you, Darrell. I'm going to be so glad to see that rear spoiler back on these cars.
I think that's it's got to be something to that.
That car took a hard hit in the left A pillar, the windshield post right in front of the driver.
You just see how that wing sticks out so far out the back of the car, behind the car. It almost looks if it'll create downforce.
Through the tri-oval, Checkered is waving. Ernie Irvan wins and Rusty spins and gets airborne. And flips wildly right at the start-finish line, very reminiscent of his accident at Daytona.
Oh man, that is too bad. Come on, Rusty, let's see you move, buddy.
What a way to
he's moving. Jarrett running side by side. Earnhardt comes down on the inside, trying to draft Rusty and go right out of the picture, and it looks, there he is. Earnhardt right up on the back bumper of Rusty, and he does touch him.
That's why
around he goes, and that's one reason that Dale Earnhardt went down there.
That's why he was so concerned, because he touched Rusty Wallace to start this situation, it looks like.
And the car overturns about 6 or 7 times, pirouetting on its nose, end over end, side over side, comes to a rest on its wheels between the start-finish line and turn.
Oh, Briscoe gets loose. Austin Wayne Self around. Heavy contact with the 99 of Peters, up and over. Austin Wayne Self in the 22, and that upside down 99 is Timothy Peters in that truck for the very first time this season. To this at the finish. There's the replay of the accident that brought out the final caution in the wild ride.
Watch him get loose on the bottom, gets into Johnny a little bit, turns him sideways. Ben Rhodes able to get by. Timothy commits to the bottom. Austin Wayne comes down there. A wild ride for Timothy.
Oh, Suarez. Briscoe got him into the back of Suarez, and he gets pounded.
Dang it.
Oh, Busher's upside down.
I think he hooked a drain. I think it rolled underneath the car, and that's what flipped the car. The upper A-frame was broke. The whole right front suspension dug in.
That was Todd Gilliland, tried to go high and just didn't have enough room.
See, that right front wheel dug underneath the car, and that's what dug in and caused it to start flipping. Violent crash.
Now let's ride along with Daniel.
It looked like made some contact.
Uh-oh, we've got a problem.
Contact here, for sure. Darrell Waltrip and Joe Rutten. Waltrip car gets on his roof and over and over.
Darrell Waltrip tumbling down the backstretch. And what appears to be a very...
And Joe Ruttman right behind him Now here comes Earnhardt. Looks like someone had tapped him. But, Kowicki came down and touched Darrell.
Threw him back into Ruttman.
Ruttman gets in the side of him.
And then
here's the road they hit.
Yeah, when he hits the road, it gets him airborne, and the car starts over. Of course, he was being pushed by the car number 75. That was just a circumstance there.
There was certainly nothing aerodynamic that caused that crash. When they went over that paved road, which is part of the road course, that's when the car got airborne.
Whoa, got trouble getting into 3, guys.
Joey Logano.
Big crash.
Oh, he's upside down.
Over and over, Logano goes between 3 and 4.
No.
The car will come back to rest on all 4 tires.
Really just kind of a stack-up effect. Like was one of them got on the brakes and kind of forced. Yeah, look at Tony Stewart just missing this crash. Man, here's where it really gets exciting. Man.
We talked about that there's nowhere to go as you come off of these corners, and when something like this happens, you make a commitment, and you've got one opportunity really to miss this wreck. Tony Stewart did a great job. Some others got.
Oh, big crash in turn number 2. David Ruderman.
Oh goodness, 6 gets. It's like, oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Wow. Like Boris said, got into the 6 car. David Reagan. Oh, my goodness.
Okay. 11. What happened here? Coming through the tri-oval.
Jeff Green gets a little assistance there from behind, and you can see the car just lifting off the ground right there. It rolls several times here, but you notice the part that he's in does not really hit the racetrack. It rolled on the nose and then settled down on the racetrack. The flaps did their job. They have flaps in the roof of these cars to keep them from flying.
He said it was that wind.
Oh, out of control goes Kenza.
Over on his roof.
Get back on the wheels. Like that. We're seeing Matt's in 2nd place right here behind Ryan Newman. See what happens. He goes to block.
Comes back in line. It looks like he may get a tap. Yeah, he gets a tap from David Reagan.
Yep.
Car gets out of shape and then just pirouettes on its left side and goes over.
And we talk about the bump drafting has to be done on the straightaway, and you can see even on the straightaway, if you get hit too hard, it just takes the steering wheel out of your hands as a driver.
This was the scary part right here when he's on his roof for so long. Looked for a minute like he might save it, but then got down there. Golly, this is tough.
Yeah, and Matt really did a great job. If he goes up in front, he takes out 15 or 18 cars, so he did a great job of not creating that situation.
Welcome back to Daytona.
It's the big one, gang. It's the big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall number 20. Jason Leffler all torn up. The defending Cup champ.
It happened up here. I think that this car right here, man, and look at it. Is that Stewart's car?
That's Stewart's car. Rode right across the top of Robbie Gordon's car, the 4 car.
I think everybody. Back up and look at it again. I think that the 4 and the 20 may have been that started that.
Oh, and Earnhardt gets turned. Elliott hard in the wall. Major crash here on the front stretch. A car upside down. That's Bill Elliott. And Dale Earnhardt was on his side as he came down through the tri-oval. A major crash here at the tri-oval. Car still.
We see a wheel rolling across the racetrack. Knocked the wheel off somebody's car.
Starting line. There's Elliott. Ward Burton gets in the side of Earnhardt. Just touches him. Elliott in there on the roof, sliding across.
We see Chad Little going down, hit Michael Waltrip. The 3 car gets banged from Jerry Nadeau, I think. Elliott's car now back on its wheels. We see Schrader down on the inside. Bobby Hamilton, heavy damage to Schrader's car.
Chad Little involved. Oh, there we go. There we go. There was no way.
Oh, it's Kurt Busch up and over. Boyer's in it. Bobby Labonte's in it. Stremmy's in it. Jeff Gordon down to the grass.
Nothing else coming from behind you.
And Kurt Busch went over and over for 17.
Yeah, and running out of time. I mean, he's, you know, desperate. And you see the 36 move down just a little bit. And Yaley and Stenhouse thought he could squeeze by on the next to the wall, and he just couldn't make it. And this kid's ugly. Watch his thing.
Right on top of Ryan Newman.
Hadn't Ryan Newman had cars on top of him before here?
I think the 2009 race.
I think you're right.
Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards coming to the checkered flag.
Boyer's 15 comes up, clogs the track. Both Labonte brothers involved. Stremme,
Jamie
number of those
McMurray.
Smaller teams on the way to a good finish here.
Jeff Gordon
Junior will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them.
Oh my God.
Keselowski try to win it.
I don't know. I don't think he can step out until he waits till the last second and picks
He
up.
goes to the outside as Edwards goes.
Oh, no.
He turns him.
No, no.
Oh, and that destroyed the front end of Newman's car.
No.
Edwards will not make it to the flag.
Oh,
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Jeff Green got sideways there underneath the 27 car. Casey Atwood almost lost control.
And a big...
Oh, trouble, trouble.
Oh, and one car upside down.
Casey Atwood. And sliding through the grass, Kenson. Winds around.
White and yellow flag.
Atwood's car is destroyed. That number 27 car on the left side of your screen.
Andy Hillenberg gets in the back of him, and he gets into the outside wall. You can see the 18 car there. The hood's all torn up on it where he got in the back of Casey Atwood.
Goes right up and almost over Mike McLaughlin.
Comes back down on the back end and then back to the front end.
There goes the radiator and the springs.
Now, the good part is that probably looks really bad to the racing fan, but it's sliding on the roof. That's where all the roll cage is. It does not start turning over until it scrubs off a tremendous amount of speed. Now, watch him when he hits the grass here. It'll turn over several times there, but the speed is down where it's not like 190 miles an hour crash.
David Stremme and another car owned by Rusty. Oh, we got a spin. It's a tap from Wallace.
Right behind you.
Oh, the big one in turn one, heavy contact, cars in the wall. Stephen Wallace heavily damaged. There comes Kyle Krisiloff down. David Rudiman involved. Oh, heavy damage on Stephen Wallace's Chevy. He was having such a great run. And Kyle Busch has damage on the right front of his Toyota.
Kyle Busch continues to have problems finishing this race. He tried a different strategy, but he's still caught up in this race.
Ripped off. He's checking off pit road first, probably.
Yeah, Rudiman has a lot of damage with his Toyota. You see Kyle Busch coming in behind him, so he will not make it 4 in a row here. But, you know, there again, we saw guys. Mike Wallace look like he was going below David Rudiman right here, but they ran up on a slower car. Wow. What? Man.
That's Kevin LePage's 61 that Carl Edwards went up across the back of. And then it all broke loose behind him. Car slipping and sliding. Kelly Byers involved. Brad Keselowski, watch again.
Oh, you see what happened here. This 61 was not up to speed, and it's almost like these guys moved over and didn't see him.
Had no idea that he was coming out. You know, they did. I'm sure that the spotters up there saw him on the apron. They weren't expecting him.
Oh, and there goes Fontaine. Contact and around. Crafton involved. Rhodes involved. Parker Kligerman. John Hunter Nemechek. Bo Lamastus. Johnny Sauter back there. Was it?
And the last time we had everybody.
Whoa, I've got trouble right there. Mike Wallace is around right there. Along with Matt Kent's is also.
And this will take some people out of the race, no doubt, Mike.
And Jeff, that was right at the same point in the pack. Scott Riggs got turned up to the high side. And look how many cars pile in.
I'm seeing 11 cars here on the backstretch. This is 11 cars. I don't think that we're involved.
The accident happened at the exact same point on the racetrack where Riggs got up into Dale Jr. 1 lap ago, the one you saw on replay. Chris on the leader.
Well, Brett Kozlowski's won here.
Car to the wall, turn 1 hard.
Oh, that's going to be big. Big.
Oh, huge wreck.
Everybody.
They're still running into each other. Newman's on fire.
13 cars got away. Everybody else is in it. Jimmy Johnson was getting a push from Kurt Busch when that began.
Stewart 33 and contact. Smith turned around. Tony Stewart is going to win this race. A terrible crash coming to the finish.
This is a big wreck.
Kyle Larson's car with the front end severely torn off.
He made the pass. Oh, trouble.
Hard and the wall goes into Byron.
Nose is in
heavy.
Byron went in hard.
Oh. Matt Kent's has piled into Byron right to the 14 car right at the end there. 24 set down here on fire. 37. The 1. That was a huge wreck.
Chris Buescher involved.
You can see William moving around a little bit.
Around goes Vickers.
Oh no, another one.
Low. Watch me, both sides. Come on.
Oh, this is wiping out half the field.
This is a big one on the backstretch at Phoenix.
Look at that.
Brian Vickers got sideways and then was perpendicular to the field. There's his silver car up against the wall. Ends it.
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I thought when he got sideways that maybe the 56 got into him, but I don't think he did now. I think it was just from Matt getting into the 83 of Vickers and getting him loose. And it's, you know, we've seen cars have trouble off of 2 over there. It must be really slick up high.
Now we'll look at Martin Truex's in-car.
Getting through that without any contact.
Checking up, come on, low. Watch me, both sides. Come on. Go low. Good job.
Definitely threaded it through there.
Yeah, Junior did a good job, and that spotter did an awesome job.
Vickers sideways. Everybody tried to go low, but the curbing, the Dragon's Teeth down there is pretty steep, and a lot of cars bounced off that and into harm's way right there at the dogleg.
The nose on these cars are so strong. Man, look at Travis Quapple get into that wall. That's huge. But the nose on this car.
33 lead lap cars as Paul Tracy just made a stop, went a lap down. Crash. Car upside down. Start finish line. It is Stewart.
Daniel Quinn in the 50 got into him.
I don't see anyone else but Stewart.
And the 8 car, Tony had just helped the 8 car get to the lead going down the back. The 8 car drove to the inside, and I think Tony thinks there's a hole right there that he's trying to get down in, and there's just not, he just doesn't quite have enough room to get in front of Kenny Wallace. And look at that race car. They just become like feathers blowing in the wind. Now, this is a hard lick right here. Fortunately, it's just it's more in the left front than it is anywhere else.
And it was the right side of Stewart's car that took the brunt of the impact as it went over.
See, he's trying to get down in that hole right there. Not much room. I know Kenny Wallace is doing everything he can probably to give Tony all the room he can, but there's just not enough room there. You see the roof flaps deploy. Car goes upside down and hits hard on the left side.
Yeah, the roof flaps deployed. They did their job, but the air just got out from underneath the back of
Man, just wanted to touch
him. Can't get him to the high side. Here he comes.
There he turns him. He turns him.
Busch in the wall. Here comes Stewart to the checkered flag. And another car gets in the backside. It's Casey Kane. And they're scattering everywhere as they come to the line.
Some of these guys hit hard, man.
And one of them was Kyle Busch.
They're still hitting hard. Man, that's an ugly finish. But incredible. Incredible.
But that was 100% mirror driving.
Right on that 18's corner and force him up the racetrack right there.
Okay, now Kyle's hanging on.
He blocks.
But he's going to block.
Back.
And it just ran himself over the 14 car.
And here's what happened. Just like we talked about, once he blocked, Tony put the bumper on the outside of him. He was there.
Watch the 9. I think it's a 9 car
gets
takes
right in the back.
I mean, just clobbers Kyle Busch.
And these guys, there's a 31 car tour, but these guys hit hard right here.
Logano finally, his luck ran out. He
but you see these guys coming across the racetrack. This is
maybe able to hold on to third here.
I think the 24 is going to get boxed right here as they try to go three
wide.
Four wide.
Stewart Gordon's hard into the wall. There's Edwards, Allmendinger.
Oh, no, what a mess.
Gordon and Stewart, and then cars trying to sweep by on the outside. Menard, Montoya, McMurray, Harvick, or rather Boyer, all get caught up in it.
What a wadded-up mess.
The big one in Texas takes the pole sitter and the driver who's left. And here comes Biffle on the bottom.
Yeah, we're going to go three wide. We're going to try to go three wide right here. You see Gordon forces his way by right there.
Edwards.
Edwards got into the back of Stewart and got him into Gordon in the 24 car.
Allmendinger, there's McMurray.
And there they all go.
Menard, Boyer.
Logano.
Boy, look at Ryan Newman.
Great job. Scott Speed.
Just snuck through there.
That's called bobbing and weaving. You see here, it gets this so bottled up. Not a lot of room to work. Trying to go three wide right here. Here comes Carl with the run up on the outside, calling the 99 Edwards.
I think Gordon touch Stewart just a little bit.
But touch there. But then when he does, Edwards has got a hit into the back of the 14 to Tony Stewart.
I don't think Gordon got into Stewart enough to move him. The contact from Edwards, though,
I think what happened was Stewart broke a little momentum. Edwards had it in the 99, had that great run coming off 4, and they got together.
Oh, I agree. That's